Jasiri, on a nearby rock, watches the battle with a calm expression. Jasiri leans back comfortably against the rocks, making her appear almost laid back as she observes the battle below her. As the fight continues, Jasiri continues to watch it with a calm, almost bored expression, making no move to intervene. Jasiri raises an eyebrow as she hears you shout, slightly amused at your apparent accusation, but says nothing, and continues to simply watch the ongoing conflict. Jasiri watches with satisfaction as the hyenas flee, a smirk gracing her lips as she crosses her arms over her chest. Jasiri looks down at you, her smirk fading just a bit when she sees your condition. She hops down from her perch on the rocks, approaching you carefully, eyes flicking around for any signs of the hyena's return. She crouches down next to you, a mix of concern and curiosity in her gaze. Jasiri's face hardens slightly as she hears your growl, but she doesn't back away. Instead, she tilts her head to one side, studying you intently, trying to figure out what's going on with you. Jasiri huffs in amused irritation at your tone, folding her arms across her chest as she stands tall before you. Believe it or not, I'm not all bad, you know. I saw those hyenas attack you, and I thought I'd see if you were all right. Jasiri shakes her head, rolling her eyes at your attitude. Oh, come on, don't be so overdramatic. I've seen plenty of lion cubs who could handle 3 hyenas better than you did. Jasiri's ears twitch slightly as you growl again, raising an eyebrow at your reaction. She knows all too well of your brother's history with hyenas, and she has a sneaking suspicion that that has something to do with your hostile demeanor. Jasiri watches you go, a mix of confusion and irritation on her face. She debates whether to follow you or not, but ultimately decides better of it. She knows that nothing she says will get through to you right now. Instead, she sighs and shakes her head, watching you disappear into the distance.
Invitation 届いたならお弁当男女のその輪に誰も聞かせない
He notices you limping back to Pride Rock, not looking too good, and frowns worriedly. Hey, are you okay? Sighs softly, knowing you're irritated, and steps closer to you. Well, you'd feel a lot better if you'd just take it easy for a bit. You still look pretty banged up. Looks over some of your wounds and frowns a bit more before looking you in the eye. What happened out there anyway? He sighs and walks right beside you, supporting you as you walk, mumbles angrily under his breath. Those hyenas, always up to their shenanigans. Grows more worried and concerned as you say that. That girl Hyena? You mean Jasiri? Yeah, that's the only girl Hyena I've known around here. Notices your expression. Wait, you don't honestly think she was involved with the attack, do you? Grows even more worried. What are you talking about? She didn't help you? Eyes grow a bit wide, surprised. Well, why in the name of the great kings would she just watch you get attacked like that and do nothing? That's not like her at all. Her sighs and watches as you walk into Pride Rock. I need to talk to her about this. That's not like her at all. Looks up at the sky, noticing that the sky was getting dark. Ugh. And it's late. I might not get the chance to talk to her tonight.
As Kion approaches, Jasiri looks up from what she's doing, looking mildly surprised at his presence. Her tail flicks back and forth lazily as she regards him with a curious expression. Sure, I've got some time. What's on your mind? Jasiri listens quietly as Kion speaks, her ears lowering slightly at his question. She sighs before responding. Believe me, I was tempted to intervene. But your brother's attitude, he probably wouldn't have accepted my help, or just outright told me to go away anyway. And the last thing either of us needs is unnecessary conflict. Jasiri's eyes widened slightly as Kion asked if she had really set you up. She was visibly offended and slightly hurt by the accusation. Of course I didn't set him up. Why would I do something like that? Besides, I didn't even need to set anything up. Your brother is basically a magnet for trouble. Jasiri looks at Kion, sensing that he knows something more than she does. She tilts her head quizzically, a hint of curiosity in her expression. What do you mean? What was he like when he got back? He was in such a bad mood, I figured something happened to him. Jasiri sighs deeply, her expression softening. I know, Kion. I really do. But you must understand, your brother is stubborn. It doesn't matter what I say or do, he'd think the worst of me just because I'm a hyena. I don't like leaving cubs to fend for themselves, I promise you that. I just don't think he'd listen to me. Jasiri watches Kion go, a mixture of sympathy and disappointment on her face. She truly does wish your brother would learn to stop believing the old stereotypes, but at the same time, she understands why he feels the way he does. Still, she can't help but feel guilty that she couldn't save you. She turns and walks away as well, lost in thought.
Walks over to you, a worried look on his face. Hey, slow down for a minute. I need to talk to you. I need to ask you some questions. Looks around before continuing, about what happened last night. Looks back at you. Did you run into any hyenas while you were out? Sighs softly. So you didn't see any at all? Grows more worried and concerned. So they jumped you without warning? Shrugs softly. Not much, to be honest. I've never really had much interest in them, to be honest. Looks back at you. Besides knowing that they live in the Outlands and are known for causing chaos whenever they get the chance. Raises a brow at your question. Why are you so curious about Jasiri? Thinks for a moment, before sighing, remembering his conversation with her. Well, she's not the kind of hyena to watch an animal as it gets attacked. I've known her to be pretty much the opposite of that. She's a sweet hyena and wouldn't hurt another animal unless provoked. Well, She was just as surprised as I was when I told her what happened to you. Thinks for a moment, then sighs. She even told me she'd keep an eye out for you if any problems arise again. Looks a bit surprised you just walked off like that. Hey, where are you going? Watches as you keep walking. You know it's not good to be walking when you're still injured. Sighs.
Dad wanted the best for